From the folks that brought you such high fun as The Gentleman Itches and Smallpox Blanket Playland comes the latest board game for the whole family. It's Slipstream the Game.
A5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wind tunnel testing station found. Improved airplane aerodynamics. Awesome!
Send Bill Paxton in to rescue Bob Peck by storming the ice prison. Avoid earthquakes and violent winds along the way.
99. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 99.
What does it say? What does it say?
Mark Hamill confuses his lines from Corvette Summer. Moved back to 1978. Bummer.
Get to the center square to face off against Dwayne The Rock Johnson in a battle of earthquake guys.
Wait, is that a San Andreas reference?
It's the game everyone's talking about. Here's Sam from Stinker Madness.
I'm Sam from Stinker Madness. I'm in the commercial for Slipstream the Game.
And here's a rave review from Jackie from Stinker Madness.
I am in that commercial as well.
Your friends and family will love it. Enjoyment of Slipstream the Game requires a working knowledge of the rare and obscure B-movie entitled Slipstream, as well as understanding of references to Star Wars, Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Near Dark, Jurassic Park, Navy SEALs, Twister, Club Dread, Time Runner, and Wing Commander 3. Do not play Slipstream the Game with people who you want to like you. Recommended that Slipstream the Game only be played while on hallucinogenic drugs. Be sure to consult your psychiatrist, priest, higher power, or Morgan Freeman before trying Slipstream the Game.
Are we still in this?
Who cares? Let's just go play Free Jack the game.
Is that the one with the crazy bomb?
Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. We got the Stinker Madness.
Hello and welcome to Stinker Madness. I'm your host, Justin. I've got Sam, I've got Jackie. How are Sam and Jackie at the same time? That's just good radio. So, the show about bad movies for bad movie lovers. We're going to get right into this because we've got a deep episode. Long and hard and deep.
Like Schnitz and Gruben.
Schnitz and Gruben. 15 of them for breakfast. Slipstream is the movie, starring Mark Hamill, Bill Paxton, a little bit of Ben Kingsley in this shit, Bob Peck from, as you
I've got some Bob Peck dialed up.
His name may not be familiar, but I think you'll know who he is.
Well, I think you'll remember me.
I'm just going to say right now that this sounds like a really bad camper movie.
Yeah, the Airstream.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking of, is some crappy camper.
It sounds to me
camper.
like this movie, I have not seen this film.
It's a trailer with some bed sheets around it.
It seems to me like a blend between Damnation Alley and Free Jack, which, oh boy.
But then it turns into a horror movie when the camper outhouse or the camper toilet gets clogged up. And then by Bill Paxton, and he's like, I don't know what to do.
I bet you Bill Paxton clogs up a lot of toilets. The craft services.
I don't think he does. I think his internal toilet is already clogged.
Oh, no.
Not Bill Paxton's internal toilet.
And then he just goes out to the woods, and he comes back naked. He's like, I bathed myself with my own clothing.
That's icky. Moving on to streaming do's and don'ts. This is the free movie special.
I have one
that
I watched by myself.
Okay, why don't you start? As long as it's a free movie, because this is a free movie special. You can't have a subscription to it.
Oh, that's no good because this was on Netflix.
Ah, bummer. Yeah, you'll have to save that one.
You're a douche.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, you'll forget. Just tell us what it is.
I finally watched Odd Thomas.
Odd Thomas, the Dean Koontz book movie? Oh, no. You had to. You were forced to by your mom, weren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Mom pick.
This is after we watched the first half of 4 subtitled movies that she got bored of because she was like, I don't know what's going on in this movie. And I was like,
because she's playing
it's because you're playing Candy Crush.
Yeah.
And it's subtitled. And she's like, you weren't watching that, were you? And I was like, you know, I was. Just because I was trying to do something besides Tap Tap. But then she started watching The Odd Thomas, and it got her right off the Tap Tap.
Uh-huh. All right, so how'd The Odd Thomas go?
horrid ratings.
Yeah.
It was just not. It was meh.
Meh?
It was meh.
Meh.
Like the whole. This is the worst movie ever. No,
What?
it's not.
Who said that it's the worst movie ever?
It was supposed to be. It was one of those that you couldn't put it in the worst of 2013 or 14 because it had a pre-release and then a regular release. So was it 2013 or 14, whatever it was? They were like, it's one of the worst movies. It was just meh.
Yeah.
It was just meh.
Yeah. Kind of like Rage.
It had some. What it was John dies at the end.
Uh-huh.
Light.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to read that book. I don't know why. Let's
heard
just
that the
say
books
that I'm a
are all right.
retard. The books, the Dean Koontz books. No, the books are shit, man. The guy is a terrible author. But I was stuck in Tacoma, or not, in SeaTac for about 15 hours, and you go to those little crappy bookstores, and they only have the most popular books that are for sale. And it's basically, you got two options. Time Magazine, which you've already read, People, Dean Koontz, or James Patterson. And I was like, well, I'm not fucking reading James Patterson or People, so I picked up Odd Thomas, and I read Odd Thomas in about 12 minutes, and I was like, you know what? This guy can't write a fucking tale to save his life, but this is just a shitty story. Or, I mean, just it's a meh story. It's not bad or silly. It's just meh, the story. It's just he's a terrible author.
The series made 7 novels.
Yes, because people will buy Dean Koontz. People buy shit.
It's probably better than any of the Patterson stuff.
I like Dean Koontz books.
He
Name
writes,
one. You don't like Dean
The one
Koontz.
about the gypsies.
Half of them have gypsies
Yeah,
in them. I can name.
you like him so much you can't
So,
even remember the title.
But I've read several, and they were pretty good.
He wrote
keys,
Watchers.
The Keys to Midnight. No, Watchers was, I thought.
No, that's Dean Koontz.
Okay.
Which became maybe a future episode. Watchers
There's 3
starring
Watchers movies.
Corey Haim.
Yeah, there's 3 Watchers movies.
We have yet to do a Corey Haim movie. I think that's
It might be.
put it on the to-do list.
You know, Mark Singer's in Watchers 2.
Oh shit!
I can't, there's
shit!
somebody really significant in Watchers 3 as well.
I need to stop throwing Dean Koontz under the bus.
Yeah.
It seems like the guy is just churning out stinkers for us to go off
I
of.
tried to read a couple of Dean Koontz novels that were more towards women, and I had a tough time with it. But The Keys to Midnight, I read all the way through.
God, are you there? It's me.
No,
Hell
the one was
Beast.
called The Door to December, and I made it like 300 out of the 600 pages into it. And I just kept getting tired of how he would describe how attractive the Irish male detective was, like every 4th page. Like, yes, I get it. He's handsome. But The Keys to Midnight was earlier in his career, and I remember it being, I read it all the way through.
Huh.
And it was not a good mystery, but it was palatable.
So, Odd Thomas, do or do not?
If you're a 16-year-old girl, go ahead.
All right, there you go. I doubt that that's our target audience. I don't know who our target audience is other than some people in England and some guys in Australia. So, guys in England and Australia?
No.
Yeah, I would say no. Moving on to the free side of things. These are all free movies for you to watch. Number 1, starting with Jackie Chan is the Prisoner, or Island of Fire, streaming on shoutfactory.tv. Sam, start with you.
We had a long-going discussion on how we've never been disappointed by a Jackie Chan movie. I still haven't been, because this really wasn't a Jackie Chan movie.
He's only in it for about, 30 minutes of the movie?
Oh, no, more like 7.5.
Oh, no, he has that whole, like, the end. He's in the whole end of the thing, which is like 15 minutes.
17 minutes of actual screen time of Jackie Chan. Sammo Hung. It's the Expendables. It's Hong Kong's The Expendables. Everybody significant in Hong Kong film in
Sammo
one movie.
Hung.
And
Jimmy Wang Yu. Some of the other guys. Like, who are these other guys?
I can't remember them off the top of my head. You should have told me.
A lot of guys.
Everybody except for
Donnie Yen.
Chow Yun-fat. Donnie Young wasn't really anybody yet. Chow Yun-fat's not
Bolo
in it.
Yen wasn't in it.
Bolo Yen wasn't in it.
I did not watch this movie.
No, it sucks.
It sucks.
It really sucked. It had some really highlights. Like, oh God, it was almost like it was directed by 16 people, because there's sequences that's like, oh, Jackie Chan's kicking ass. And then, oh wait, we've got this other thing going on that is just like, what? And then, oh, Sammo Hung's doing his fat guy routine. And oh, he's breaking out of prison and he beats up a guard, and the guard's uniform that he's going to wear is way too fucking small, because Sammo Hung's a big fat guy. And it's funny, and then it's not, and then everybody dies, and then there's a whole nother movie at the end. I still say that that's another movie. It just happens to have...
It happens to be in the same movie.
It happens to be in the same movie. It doesn't make a lick of sense, and it's a snooze fest, and I say do not.
When we were watching it, I was thinking of when I was doing the children's show. We'd started to do okay with it, and then I was tasked with doing a sitcom with, as the kids were getting older, they couldn't be in the children's show anymore, so we had to still do something with them, and so I was like, well, you gotta write a sitcom around 17 kids. Well, you can't put 17 kids in every half hour. Like,
right.
Degrassi would have all 17 kids involved with the whole season, but generally 4 of them were prevalent in one episode.
Mm-hmm.
I had to write all 17 kids into one episode. That's what happened in this. They had to write too many things into one.
With too many idioms, actor idioms.
Yes.
Like if JCVD was in it, they would have had to get a whole his ass getting out scene, which just wouldn't have worked, and Schwaz would have had to say, "I'll be back," and what?
And it was like
just cliches.
Yeah, you had to
actor cliches.
introduce their character and then give them a story and then finish their story. You don't have enough time for any of that.
And then kill them, or do they?
Or do they?
Yeah,
or
don't,
do they?
don't,
and
don't.
you lose half of them.
Moving on. Next, Jackie Chan in Fearless Hyena on YouTube.
I enjoyed Fearless Hyena. It
Jackie
was
Chan's
silly business.
Directorial debut.
Yeah. What was there? About 3.5 minutes of dialogue in this movie?
There was about 3.5 minutes of not fighting in this movie.
Not fighting.
It is Kung Fu the movie.
It's Jackie Chan's ambition.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's a precursor to what is to come. I don't think it's a great film, even in the realm of Kung Fu movies.
Just so much fighting.
But it is a total must-do. Because it is a... This is what you're going to get out of the next 15 years out of one man.
The last fight
out of Hong
scene
Kong
was 2 guys, and what was it, like 18 minutes long?
At least.
And he went into like 15 different imaginary styles, including baby style.
Baby style of fighting. He starts out with Tiger Claw. Well, the bad guy's doing Tiger Claw and like the pinchy business. Like, I got you by the nurples. And he's, Tiger Claw. And then Jackie Chan switches to like drunken fighting.
It was almost like he went into the Fool.
Yeah, the Fool, the goof.
And you see all of the styles that he used at the beginning. All of the styles that he used at the beginning were put into the beginning of that fight. Like he had learned, I'll use the Fool, I'll use the lady, I'll use all of those different things. But then
he's Bugs Bunny. He's
secret styles.
He's a Warner Brothers character in this movie.
He had secret styles, and the first secret style was baby style.
Well, the guy says, I punched you so hard. What are you going to do? Cry like a baby? And then he brings out baby style. He starts fighting baby style.
And when the guy goes in to like kill him with his fingers, it tickles him, and he giggles like a baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
unbelievable.
It's ridiculous. Fearless Hyena is a do. Go ahead, Jackie.
I did not watch this movie.
You did not.
You missed out. You don't like the karate movies, but this was one to watch. Or the kung fu movies, I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure that I'm the only one out of 3 of us that actually leaves the Stinker Madness studio.
Huh. I just don't get you, because every time we have a kung fu movie or a karate movie on Stinker Madness as the episode, you're like, I loved it. And then when hey, we're going to spend an afternoon watching karate movies, Jackie, you in? No, I'm going to go shopping. Like, you just pull the ultimate girl routine every time. I'm out! I hate this shit! Karate movies suck! But I like all of them.
Actually, what she's doing, she's going with her mom and practicing actual karate. And one day she's just going to bust our asses.
Probably.
Yep.
Last but not least,
happening.
This is not a karate movie. This is a follow-up to last week's recommendation of Cruel Jaws, directed by Bruno Mattei. This was a recommendation from our friends at Bad Movie Sunday, the boys from Down Under. They say, if you liked Cruel Jaws, you must watch The Last Shark, which is one of the films that Bruno Mattei stole from. It is a shark movie. It's a complete Jaws ripoff. And I thought it was fantastic.
I loved this movie, especially the prosthetic shark that they had that would come out of the water to get people. And you could obviously, because you only see like so much of the shark face, right? And it would always
Right.
come up with its mouth just completely open.
They don't have an entire Bruce. They have just Bruce's face.
Right. And they're like, Frank, swim towards the Jaws face. The puppeteer can't get any closer.
This is where our giant shark pops out of the water. You must be in this location, or we're just going to have to redo this over and over and over and over again. Which you could tell that they did. My favorite part of The Last Shark is easily the helicopter. Because, as I've said, helicopter, guess what happens, Sam?
It's awesome.
Go ahead and take a guess.
It chops the shark's head off.
Oh, that's the second thing that could happen. No, the shark eats the helicopter.
I would have never guessed that.
How could you not guess that? So anyways, there's a chopper, and this is how it's shot. There's a chopper, and there's a guy in the chopper, and he's doing stuff, and he's trying to bait Bruce the shark with
Why not?
With some chum, because he's got to kill the shark. He's Ahabing it out. Now, so they have a guy in a chopper over the ocean, and then they cut to the chopper with the shark in the frame. It is not an actual chopper. It is a radio-controlled chopper, and it is blatantly fake looking. Like, why does that chopper look so shitty all of a sudden? Oh, because it's remote-controlled. I know what's gonna happen.
It was great.
Yeah, the shark eats the helicopter. It is fantastic.
The shark also uses its body to stop a boat from getting away by putting its back into the propeller so that the propeller cannot move, and it just chops up the shark's back.
Yeah, like...
And then he burns out the motor, and then the shark gets into the boat and kills everybody.
This shark it lays traps. It's the smartest shark that's ever existed.
It's Danton the shark.
It's Danton the shark, except for it gets exploded at the end.
Oh, Danton would never get exploded at the
Well,
end.
actually, Danton got exploded like 17 times, but
He doesn't die from it.
he doesn't die from it. He's invincible to explosions, but this one's not so invincible to explosions. It's so silly because it's like one of the more modern shark movies like Shark Attack 3 or Sharknado, where it knows
modern shark movies.
Well, really, land sharks, just like people like silly things happening in shark movies, like a science fiction or sci-fi channel movie.
Sure.
This is like Orca, but shitty.
Without the whole real tragedy of it.
It is a complete regurgitation of Jaws the movie and is as shitty as Sharknado. I kid you not, but serious in every step of the way. Like, this is the next big thing. Like
Interesting.
Piranha, but shitty. Like Orca, but shitty. It's amazing. I absolutely loved The Last Shark. Jackie?
Just do it, people.
Yeah, just do it. Last Shark is a good one. Moving on to Good Neighbor, Bad Neighbor. Sam, it's your week for Good Neighbor, Bad Neighbor, since it's your movie. Why don't you take charge?
There's a theme that we'll learn later when we get into the Sam's boring bullshit. First, Good Neighbor, Bad Neighbor. Hannibal Lecter.
That's a good one.
Good neighbor.
Okay.
I think he's going to... Oh, actually, I'm posing it, so you go.
I'm going to start out with some pros and cons, because I think this one's pretty tough. He's a good cook.
Yep.
He can help you with your homework, if you have it.
Sure.
The con is he eats you.
Does he eat you? Or does he eat people? He wants to keep his neighbors to think that he's the greatest guy ever.
I'm not so sure about that.
I would...
Clarice doesn't think he's such a great guy, and that's
He's already in jail.
Yeah, but he gets out of jail, and then they like, oh, well, hello, Clarice. And
But he doesn't eat his neighbors.
he doesn't eat Clarice because she's too smart, but she knows that he's a fucking evil bastard. I'm going to say no. His closest friend knows that he's a fucking bastard.
I'm going to say because of the fact that he has to cover everything up, he's going to go overboard. Greatest neighbor.
Yep, good neighbor.
I can't get behind it.
Because we could go over to his house and have some sweaty balls.
You
Actually,
would
you know what
know
we'd have?
that at any time he's over there eating Ray Liotta's brains. Sure, he's not eating your brains, but you know he's eating brains.
Actually, you're like, what's in this burrito? Bob Silverman's liver with a side of fava beans.
And a nice Chianti.
The Chianti was for later.
Oh, for Hannibal alone time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He masturbates with Chianti.
Does Hannibal Lecter jack off? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a weird one. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with no. Bad neighbor.
Good neighbor.
Good neighbor.
What else you got?
Luke Skywalker.
Oh, Bad. Worst. Oh, he might be worse than Teen Witch. Oh, he sucks. You'd always be over fucking looking for power converters. He's worse than a goddamn raccoon. Like, you put your trash out, and it's tipped over the next day and all over the place, because he's just looking for fucking garbage.
He hangs out outside your house or outside of your moisture farm for, a few days, and you're like, hey, I'm gonna go ask this kid what's going on. And he's not really needing anything. He's just dodging work.
Yes, absolutely.
And you're like, oh, you want to come in? And he comes in, and then he will just find any excuse to come into your house after that and just bother the fuck out of you.
And he's inside, and he's like, do you have any cookies? No, I haven't made any cookies. Cookies?
I think he would just be a bad neighbor because he'd have one of those droid things always in the backyard, and he'd be blindfolded and trying to, like, hit the little laser beams, but then they would come in through your window and
you're talking about
zap you in the face.
The practice droid.
Right. He'd have a practice droid, and he would miss the little laser beam things, and they would come into your window and zap you in the face, and you'd be like, God damn it! I told you to stop doing that. Don't do that in your fucking garage. And he's like, sorry, ma'am. And then he would just do it anyway, and then you would have all these laser holes in the side of your house. Bad neighbor.
I actually think that he would. Speaking of the droids, you'd be like, oh man, he's just annoying us because he's dodging the work. But at the same time, he does have some loyalty to Uncle Owen, so he would actually sabotage your harvest droids.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
He is the worst fucking neighbor.
When Uncle Owen says, no, you can't have the keys to my fucking speeder, you can't go to Toshi Station, he would come over and be like, can I borrow your car? 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 And then you would have to relent so that he could go to Toshi Station, and then he would leave your car at Toshi Station. Fuck Luke Skywalker as a neighbor.
Yeah.
One of the worst.
He's up there with the worst.
Not to mention when he gets pissed off at you because you won't let him have the car, then he picks you up with his goddamn mind powers and jingles you upside down until your keys fall out.
He doesn't know how to do that. Luke Skywalker's no Jedi.
And it's a speeder.
Yeah, it's a speeder. Sam, next.
This one's a bit of a slam dunk.
Mm-hmm.
Samwise Gamgee.
Oh, what do you think? Come on, Reg. Samwise? Dude, what?
I'm not dropping no eaves.
He's out there
tending to the flowers.
He's just trimming your fucking hedges, man. He's not even like, hey, Sam, you want to make some extra scratch? Come over and trim these hedges. He's just over there because he wants the place to look nice.
He is probably a peeping Tom, so I'm gonna go bad neighbor.
Yeah, I don't have that problem.
He's only got eyes for the barmaid.
What is her goddamn name? I can't remember.
I think that we should actually judge good neighbors versus Samwise Gamgee.
Yeah, because he would be a pretty sweet neighbor.
I think he's one of the best.
I think he's the best. I think he's the benchmark for good neighbors. Yeah, it's a slam dunk.
Yeah, that's not a competition. No. I'm struggling to come up with an argument. Like, even if he is a peeping Tom, I kind of let it slide.
He's a peeping Tom that is weeding your garden as he's peeping into your window.
I just happen to look in the window. There's your dinger. I might like it, and you go,
I saw my dinger.
You know, it's Samwise Gamgee.
Yeah,
you know what?
And 3 days later, he's like, It's nothing sexual, Mr. Frodo, but you have a nice wiener.
I just want you to know that if we're both about to die, I'd like to let you know that you've got one of the biggest dicks I've ever seen.
You've got the biggest dick I've ever seen on a hobbit.
Showdown! What's his name in that movie? Is he a good neighbor? Brandon Lee?
No.
No, Brandon Lee's fucking weird.
Douche.
There you go. There's a good neighbor, bad neighbor. Sam, tell us about Slipstream.
Slipstream, 2007. Writer-director star Anthony Hopkins had this to say.
Well, hello, Clarice.
I first wrote the script for Slipstream for fun, saying, I had no idea where it was going. I just kept evolving on itself. I always wanted to poke fun at the movie business and acting profession. They take themselves so seriously, I wanted to poke them in the nose.
You sound like Ringo Starr.
I do. Wait, hold on. That's not the right movie.
Oh.
Okay, wait, hold on. I did buy a copy of this version of Slipstream because I thought it was the one that I was looking for.
2007
Slipstream.
with Anthony Hopkins.
I had been looking for this movie for like 10 years at the point that I bought the Anthony Hopkins version. Anthony Hopkins doesn't poke anyone in the nose. He pokes everyone in the eyes and in the sensibility. The shit is terrible. Mm-hmm. He just old mans around in front of the camera for longer than I could stay awake.
Okay.
Okay, wait, hold on.
What about the other strips
All right,
of
no,
Slipstream?
Slipstream, 2005. Produced and starring one Sean, Samwise Gamgee, Aston.
Aha.
Stuart Conway, Sean Austin, has developed a handheld cell phone-like time travel device called the Slipstream that allows the user to travel back in time 10 minutes by interfacing with a cell phone system regional antenna. At first, he uses the device primarily to try, albeit unsuccessfully, to arrange a date with a female bank clerk. Okay, wait, no. That's not the right movie either.
Oh, wait, that was 2005
That was the 2005 Slipstream.
Right.
Okay, I did buy a copy of this due to a misleading cover at Hastings, thinking it was the Slipstream that I was looking for. Turns out to be a shitty Run Lola Run that I couldn't stay awake from.
Wait a second. There's more than one Slipstream.
Oh, now you're getting the joke.
Now you're getting the joke.
Okay.
Slipstream, 1989. This is the right movie. This is the one I've been looking for.
You're just gonna jump over 1973's Slipstream? There's another one.
What?
Yeah, and a TV series.
Yeah, there was a TV series. This is the right movie, however, the one we're going to watch. This is the one I've been looking for since the year 2000. Directed by Steven Lisberger, who also wrote and directed Tron and the John Cusack not-so-classic Hot Pursuit.
That was the original Tron, right?
Yeah,
Tron,
the
original
first
Tron.
Yeah, I like that movie.
Hot Pursuit
Everybody
is
likes it.
currently streaming on Netflix, if you'd like to give it a try.
Produced by Gary Kurtz, who would like to be known from various production roles in Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, The Dark Crystal, and American Graffiti. He is most known for his production role that had the most responsibility in it, Howard the Duck.
Written by Gloria Katz.
And that
His wife.
duck had boobs,
Ugh.
No, Howard didn't.
but the lady duck did.
Yeah.
Okay. Caroline in the City?
Leah Thompson? No, she's not a duck. There is a duck with boobs in Howard the Duck, though.
Top billing actually goes to Bob Peck, who you will of course remember as gamekeeper Robert Muldoon in Jurassic Park. If you don't, maybe this will refresh your memory. Clever gal. They show extreme intelligence, even problem-solving intelligence, especially the big one we bred out originally. But when she came in, she took over the pride and killed all but two of the others. That one, when she looks at you, you can see she's working things out.
I wonder if anytime anybody does an Australian accent that's American and sucks at accents, just does Bob Peck.
Bob Peck, I think so.
Every time from Jurassic Park. Shoot her! Shoot her!
Yeah.
That's as much Australian as I know, is Bob Peck.
Mark Hamill co-stars and is 1/3 of the reason I started looking for this movie, the other 2/3 being Lisberger and Kurtz. Eleanor David.
What about Bill Paxton?
Eleanor David was made quasi-famous by Pink Floyd's The Wall music film. This film is now public domain.
You're kidding.
No.
I had to bust my ass to get a decent-looking copy of this film. That's bullshit.
Fans awaiting the director cut have been disappointed after Gary Kurtz said in an interview that the script was originally much more violent, but those scenes which would have made the plot more coherent were never filmed. Kurtz was actually made bankrupt by this film. It currently enjoys a 20% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which, taking obscurity into account, is not good. Keep an eye out for Kitty Aldridge, Bill Paxton, Robbie Coltrane, Ben Kingsley, and F. Murray Abraham. What the fuck?
Yeah, deep lineup.
I'm jacked.
Yeah, I'm jacked. I'm stoked for this one. I get stoked a lot, and I have been disappointed lately, so we'll reserve judgment on Slipstream.
I think it's going to be fucking terrible. I picked it especially because we're on a run of bad ones.
I think it's going to be a blend between Damnation Alley and Free Jack.
Something.
Yeah.
Is there a trailer in this movie?
No.
There's flying machines. This is like almost
trailer. I thought you meant like a preview to the movie.
This is like almost steampunk, and we'll talk about that when we watch it. That, like, is it steampunk, isn't it? And it could have been, and it had a larger audience had it been steampunk.
Yeah, maybe. Well, you will be able to, you can currently view the movie on YouTube, but I think if it's public domain, I've got a better copy of it than is on YouTube. I will upload it to our channel, and you can watch it directly from StinkerMadness.com. So that should be good for you.
Fancy.
On your big TV. Well, that'd be awesome. So there you go. Tune in on Monday for Slipstream. And in the meantime, get to your airplane gliding on violent winds.
Especially if it has a bathroom and it's made of a helicopter.
Kaboom. Thank you for listening to Stinker Madness. If this is your first time, we hope you enjoyed it, and we'll come back to listen more. But now, we'd like to ask all of our listeners for a small favor. We aren't ranking as high as we'd like, and we need your help. Would you please take just a couple of minutes to rate and review us on your preferred listening platform, be it iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever else you can. It takes many hours each week to bring you this show, and just a couple seconds of your time is a huge help for us. And for those of you that have already done this, we say thank you.